In this video, we'll be implementing a real-world bank transfer program using what we have learned with lambda expressions. The example will transfer money from student bank account to university bank account. It will run 20 transactions in parallel using threads. Now let's implement this example. So as this example is regarding bank transfer, so what we need to do is, first of all, we need to create bank account. But to create bank account, what we'll be doing is that we'll be using an interface, and that interface is called as account factory. So let's first create a new package, and the package name is real example. And inside this real example, we'll be creating a new Java class or interface, and this interface is account factory. This account factory is going to be a functional interface, as we'll be implementing a single abstract method in this factory. So public abstract bank account get bank account, and bank account has ID, balance, and account name. So the attributes which we'll be using for bank accounts are ID, balance, and account name. Now let's implement the bank account class. So right click, real example, new, and Java class, and class name is bank account. So as we have seen in the attribute, in the interface, bank account has 3 attributes, and those attributes are ID, balance, and account name. So private integer ID, then private double balance, and then private string account name. And in this bank account example, we'll be using locks for doing the transaction. So we'll create an instance of lock, final lock is equal to new reentrant lock. We'll be using lock because when we are transferring money from student bank account to university bank account, we need to have a lock on both the accounts. So this bank account will have two methods, two main methods. One is the withdraw and other one is the deposit. So for withdraw and deposit, what we need is that we need two functions. One is the subtract function and other one is the add function. So when you deposit money, you will be adding money to the balance, and when you are withdrawing money from the account, then you are removing money from the balance, so you're deducting it from the balance. So what we'll do is that we will create by function. So by function, and this by function will take double and double as an input, and it returns double also as an output. So this is subtract function, and this is deducting money from the bank account when you are withdrawing money. So this is A and B and A minus B. The other function is add function, same double and double, and this is add function, and this is when you are depositing money, you are adding to the existing balance. Now let's create constructor. So our constructor is public bank account and integer ID, double balance, and string account name, and this dot ID equal to ID. This dot balance is equal to balance, and this dot account name is equal to account name. Now let's create getters and setters. So right click, generate getter and setter. So we'll be creating getter and setter for ID, balance, and account name. And also let's implement the toString for the bank account too. Generate toString, and in toString we need this one. So now let's create our function or method withdraw. So public boolean withdraw. So this will be withdrawing amount from the balance. So while withdrawing, you have to get a log. So if this dot log dot try log, so we're using try log. So it will try to get the log. If it doesn't get the log, then will be in our implementation will be running a while loop. So you continue trying until you get the log. To mimic the database transaction, we will have this thread sleep for 100 milliseconds. And here balance, inside the withdraw, your balance is equal to be subtract function. It will be balance minus amount. So here we're using subtract function dot apply balance and amount. And after doing this, we'll be unlocking this dot lock dot unlock, and return true. So it will be returning true if this is successful, otherwise return false. And unhandle exception, add exception to method signature. Now in similar way, we'll be creating deposit, public boolean deposit, here double amount, and inside this we'll be getting log first. This dot log dot try log, and also we'll be sleeping for 100 milliseconds to mimic the behavior of database, and balance is equal to add function, because we are depositing, so we are adding dot apply balance and amount. And then afterwards we are unlocking this log dot log dot unlock, and return true, otherwise return false, and add exception to the method signature. Now let's implement the transfer method. In this transfer method, you will be withdrawing money from this account to the to account. So in this case, this is our from account. So we'll need to provide to account in the argument. So public boolean transfer and bank account to, this is the from account. This bank account which we'll be working right now is the from account, and from this account we'll be transferring money to the other account. So first, if withdraw amount, so if it's able to withdraw the amount, because withdraw will get a log, then system out withdrawing amount plus amount plus from plus account get account name. And if it's able to deposit to the to account amount, then print out depositing amount plus amount plus 2 and then plus 2 dot get account name. And if it's able to deposit, then return true. If it's unable to deposit, then in this case we'll be depositing money back to this account because the transaction failed. So what we'll do is that we will revert this transaction and refund this account. So else print out failed to acquire both locks, refunding plus amount plus 2 plus account name. And while not of deposit, until it get the lock, continue on, because here we are refunding back, so this will continue on until it gets deposit. So it will continue on in the loop until it's able to get the deposit into the bank account. But here we are returning false. Let's go through this section again and unhandle except. Okay. So this is transfer method. We are transferring from this account to a different account, which will be providing in this as an argument. If withdraw money, because we're using a try lock, so if it's able to withdraw the money from this bank account, then print out withdrawing money. If it's able to get the lock on the to account and then deposit the money, then it means that our transaction is successful, so return true. If it is unable to deposit the money to the to account, then in this case what we are doing is that we are refunding back to this account. So fail to acquire both locks, refunding, because you already have withdrawn money from this account, so we need to refund back to this account back again. In this case we are depositing back. Here we have an indefinite while loop because we must deposit the money back. So it will continue trying and trying and trying until it's able to deposit the money back to the account where it is withdrawing from. So that's all for our bank account. Now let's go back to the project and create a new class, and this class is bank transfer. And inside the bank transfer, let's first create our public static void main method. And the first thing what we'll be doing is that we'll be creating two bank accounts using account factory. So let's do that. Account factory is equal to bank account new and bank account student bank account is equal to account factory dot get bank account. And in this case the first account is ID1, and let's say this is student bank account and it has an initial balance of $50,000 and account name is student A. So the other bank account is, we'll be using the account factory again, account university bank account and this is account factory dot get bank account, and here ID is equal to 2, balance is 100,000. Let's say 100,000 is the balance, initial balance in the university bank account, and this, the name of the account is university. Now here what we'll be doing is that we'll be creating by predicate, because we need to check that amount which we are withdrawing is greater than the balance in the student account. So we'll use a by predicate here, by predicate, and this by predicate is of type double and double. So here input parameters are double and double, so we'll call this P1, and this is balance and amount. So what it is doing is that it is checking whether balance is greater than amount. So the amount which we are trying to withdraw from the student bank account is greater than, or balance is greater than, the amount of withdrawn. And now we'll be creating by consumer. So this by consumer is nothing, just a printer for us, because we'll be printing some double values or the amount which we are withdrawing. So we'll be printing some message using by consumer. So this is printer, and this printer basically prints value and x plus y. So whatever you want to print, you pass it on as x and y, and it will print out. It is just concatenating the strings which is being provided as, it is concatenating the string and double value which we are providing as argument. The other by consumer which we are creating is bank account and bank account, and this will be used to print out the message that we are able to transfer the money or the balance on the student bank account and university bank account. So here we will put the message, we'll create the message ending balance of student account plus student bank account dot get balance and university account plus university account dot get balance. Or you can use a generic message like ending balance of from account and ending balance of to account, but for this example I'm just putting it so that it is more clear that what we are trying to do. It's a big and lengthy program, so I just want to make sure that we understand that what we are doing while we are typing this. Now we'll create an executor service, because we'll be running 20 threads. So to run those 20 threads, we need to create an executor service. Executor service executors dot new fixed thread pool. So this will create a thread pool of size 10 and will run these threads in parallel. Now let's create our first thread. So thread T1 is equal to new thread, and with lambda expression we'll be creating this thread. And first of all, So first of all, we'll be printing out the name of the thread, thread dot current thread dot get name plus says, so it is executing transfer. So it is just saying that I am executing the transfer. Now we will get double. So let's, in this program I am just putting the amount directly inside the thread. We can move this out of this thread and then move it as a variable which we are passing on to the constructor of this class, but for the time being within the thread I'm just using as a variable here. So in this case now, first what we'll do is that we will check if not of p1 dot test, this is our predicate, student bank account dot get balance and then amount. So in this case what it's saying that if the balance is if balance is less than the amount, then print out the message, then printer, call the printer which we have used as a consumer. So printer dot accept, and printer has two arguments. The one is the string and the second one is double. So in the string we will put like thread dot current thread will put some message, thread dot current thread dot get name plus says balance insufficient. And the second is amount, argument is amount, because it accepts string and double. And if it's insufficient, then just return. Else we'll go in the while loop, while not of student bank account dot transfer, because we are using the try lock, so we need to continue trying it, university bank account and then amount. In this case we are transferring the money from, so while not of a student bank account or transfer, so we will continue doing the transfer, and if it's not, then thread dot sleep time unit dot milliseconds dot sleep 1000, so it will sleep for 100 milliseconds and continue. Now let's put this thing in a try catch block. So from here we'll put in the try catch. So here try, and then catch interrupted exception I, and then I dot print stack trace. Now if it passed through this, it means that transfer was successful. So printer dot accept thread dot current thread dot current thread dot get name plus says transfer is successful, balance in account and here we'll pass on university bank account dot get balance. So if this transfer is successful, we are printing out the balance in the university bank account. So that's all for the implementation of our main method. Now let's run this in a thread of in a 20 threads, where I is equal to 0, I is less than 20, I plus plus, and here service dot so in this case printer, this is basically end of static void main method. So what we need to do is that we need to move this inside, should be inside over here, and should be over here. Okay, for integer I is equal to 0, I is less than 20, I plus plus, service dot submit and t. The thread, so we are submitting thread t1 to it 20 times. Now service dot shut down, and we are waiting for all the services to be completed within 24 hours, otherwise it will shut them down or terminate them. So while not of service dot await termination 24 hours and time unit dot hours, and print out not yet, still waiting for termination. And here catch interrupted exception IE and E dot print stack threads. Let's make that E, because we have used IE before. E dot print stack threads. So IE and IE dot K. So try should be over here, and then catch and IE dot print stack threads. And after catch we are doing printer 2 dot accept. So here we are printing the balance in the student account and university bank account. So this is, we can remove this. Okay. Now let's sort this code, reformat code. Okay. That's good. Now let's go through this program one more time. So first of all, what we are doing is that we created a factory instance of bank account, and then using the constructor reference we created a new account factory, and then from that account factory we created 2 bank accounts. And then we created a predicate. This predicate is between to check whether the amount which we are withdrawing is greater than, or balance is greater than the amount which we are withdrawing. And then these buy consumers are basically as used as a printer. And inside the thread, so what we are doing is that first of all we are deducting amount in each transaction $1,000 from a student bank account to the university bank account. So first we are checking if student bank account has balance more than the amount which we are trying to withdraw, and if it's not, then we are printing out a message that that account has insufficient balance. And while this transfer is not successful, this will continue on, and within this we are sleeping for 100 milliseconds. So while not of a student bank account or transfer university bank account, because we are using try-log will not try-log is not blocking. If it's able to get the log, it gets the log, otherwise it will just return. So that's why we are putting this in the while. And then if it's able to get the transfer completed, then we are printing out the message that transfer is successful, and we are putting the message that balance in the university bank account is this balance. And then afterwards we are shutting down the service, and we are waiting for shutting down the service for within 24 hours. So if 24 hours pass and the service is not shut down, then we shut it down. Now let's run this program. So first thing what you see is that ending balance of a student account is 30,000 and university account is 120,000, which is correct because we ran 20 transactions of $1,000 each. So initial balance of the student account was 50,000. So it deducted 20,000 from the student account and deposited 20,000 to the university bank account because the initial balance in the university bank account was $100,000. Now let's go through all these messages again, starting from the top. So it created 10 threads executing transfer, 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 and then it is withdrawing amount $1,000 from student A, withdrawing. So this is the second thread. Failed to acquire both logs, so it is refunding amount back to the student A, depositing amount 1,000 to university account, and say transfer is successful. Balance in account of university is 101,000. Now it is saying that executing transfer, withdrawing amount from student A, depositing amount to university. Say transfer is successful. Balance in the account is $102,000. So this is continuing on until all those 20 threads are completely done. So this is an example where we have used most of the concept which we have learned with our lambda expression. So hopefully you enjoyed this application. Thank you.